Welcome back. You're watching Power Talks. We are in conversation with Mr. Sujit Mundul, the CEO and Director of Standard Chartered Bank, Nepal. Mr. Mundul, India's large population was considered a hindrance to its growth, which in a way turned out to be a boon when the civilians were allowed to invest into the big business houses. How did that work out, and how has that contributed to the economic growth in India?
I think it was fascinating. It is a journey that Indians have undertaken over the last 10-15 years. And it has become very successful in the sense that with the opening of the economy, this had created, huge opportunity for the local public to invest as, not only as joint venture but also in the stock exchange through mutual funds, and which has contributed to the growth of individual wealth creation, not only the national wealth creation but also individual wealth creation. And the opening of the economy had created a lot of internal demands. So it's a cycle, and with that cycle the economy had grown. Let's not talk too far back, about 7, 8 years, 9 years back, year 2000, the growth in the Indian economy was 3 to 4%. Then it reached about 10% over a period of 6-7 years. Which is this not fascinating? So an increased population or increasing or growing population at one stage, I very rightly said that that was a huge burden. But today, if you look at the population clusters, you see that the average age is about below 30, 25, 26, which is very young population, and they have become resource. And same is the case for Nepal. If it becomes an inclusive growth with a lot of FDIs taking place here, this country will change. A magical change will happen. And I don't think this country will take many years, maybe 3, 4 years, 5 years. India had taken about 15 to 20 years. But this country is a much smaller size. It can happen in 5 years' time. Could be a sea change, a paradigm shift into the whole process. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, it has become a wealth for the nation as opposed to a burden.
Since India becoming a republic in late 1940s, it took India a long time to open up to the international business houses, the multinational companies. What are the lessons that Nepal can learn from this?
Lesson is this, that today the world has changed and we need to change with the time. We cannot stay back with a mentality, with a thinking process which is 60 years old. We need to think what the world is thinking today. For that, a paradigm shift is insisted upon, is required, is desired. So we need to open up the economy, and nature has given so much of wealth. That wealth needs to be exploited in a very positive way. And with that exploitation, what I mean that it has got a lot of infrastructural resources, like power, which is a huge resource. Hydropower is a case in point. Tourism is a case in point, which is a natural resource, gift of the God. We need to allow these resources to be exploited in a very positive manner, contributing to the national economy and allowing, the investors, maybe domestic, maybe international investors, to reap the benefit, because the world is globalized today. We cannot remain isolated. The more we remain isolated, the more painful it will be for the country. The country is going through pains for so many years. Now it has just become a democratic country. Democracy has set in, and I think over a period of time democracy will mature in a very positive manner, and it will contribute to the economic growth. But I think a political will is required for making this country self-sufficient, which it can become in a very short span of time.
Nepal, even till today, depends largely on the donors' money and foreign aid or foreign loans. What are the advantages and disadvantages that Nepal has in terms of attracting foreign investments?
Nepal has got huge potential, as I mentioned, to attract foreign investment, because it has got untapped potential, huge untapped potential, as I mentioned, for infrastructural sector, mainly in hydropower, tourism, service sector, agriculture sector, value-added items, herbs, fruits, floriculture, what not. But again, you need to have that conducive climate. You need to create that perception outside Nepal that it's a stable country. It has got a stable government. It has got peace. Our investments, whoever is investment, be it domestic, be it international, investment is safe. Policies, conducive policies are there in place. Because those policies are important, particularly labor policies. Nobody is going to invest money in a place and buy trouble.
Nepal is still undergoing through a political turmoil, besides putting aside the 10-year-long conflict through the peace process.
Yes.
But we have seen that countries like Sri Lanka, where despite having conflict, they have done pretty well with foreign investments.
Yeah.
How can Nepal invite and safeguard FDI, foreign direct investments?
The government has to give very clear signals, not only by words, by demonstrating that there is a stability in this country. There is no danger in this country. If that happens, I think investment should not be a problem. I know there are people who are ready to invest in this beautiful country, in many sectors. But government has to be progressive. Government has to make sure that whoever is investing, even domestic investments are not also happening to the desired extent. I am not saying nothing is happening. Definitely something is happening, but not to the desired extent. So we need to see there is a catalysis. Some catalytic agent is working in a very positive way, and government could be that catalytic agent. Government should allow private sector to invest. Government should invite foreign direct investment into this country by resolving certain ticklish issues, like for a power sector, as for example. There are a lot of social issues which an investor will not be able to resolve. It is for the government to resolve those issues in a very comprehensive manner, so that the investment can come, income is generated, additional employment opportunities are generated, royalty could be agreed upon, all those issues. If 2 or 3 projects can happen in a seamless manner, I think there will be no dearth of investments. But government needs to prove that yes, it is solidly behind the investments, it really wants economic development. That has to be demonstrated. Once that is demonstrated, I don't think there is any problem of foreign direct investment here or domestic investment here. Because we all know that capital flights are happening, even it is not unknown to the government. Those capital flights will be stopped. That's my feeling.
The trend in Nepal is such that the politicians are short-sighted and the governments are dysfunctional. If this continue to be so for a while, cannot the civilians' initiative trigger that?
Your point is taken, well taken, but thing is that at the end of the day you need government's help in implementing certain things, like laws, like judiciary, because they are the controlling agents. So without that, things will not function. Private sector can come forward, but private sector also needs government, because government is in charge of governance of many things, of everything, basically. So without government, without conducive government or conducive policy and intention, it is very difficult. It does not happen in any country.
We'll continue with our conversation after a short break.
Sure.
Do stay with us.